Hi everyone! You may remember me from such riveting videos as Everything Wrong with Genesis 1 in the Bible, and then a whole bunch of other videos that were not planned at all when I made that one. I'm here with a specific request. What started out as a hopefully amusing one-off video has obviously turned into a much longer series in which I go through every chapter and verse in the Bible. Like, all of them. And apparently, there are a bunch. Like, way more than I ever anticipated. Like, over 1,100. In fact, if I keep going at my present rate, as many of you mention in the comments section below every single video, it will take more than 20 years to finish. And there's no way either of us have that kind of time. Everything will be underwater in like 5. But I do think the series is worth continuing, in order without skipping stuff. Because skipping the other parts of the Bible is what they do in church. Christians always say atheists should read the Bible, right? Well, let's do it. Let's do it more closely than they ever anticipated, because there's no better way to turn people into atheists than actually reading the whole Bible, and not just the sanitized parts they typically talk about in a church service. And yes, that means reading the 95% of the Bible that just has no discernible usefulness in anyone's life. Why? Because it's in there, that's why. Now, many of you have requested that I go faster. Don't just do one video a week. Why not 2 or 3? Why not just post one every day? And look, I appreciate your enthusiasm. I really do. But also, here's what you should know. I do just about all the videos on this channel by myself. I write them myself, consulting a variety of resources. I record them, and I edit all of them too, which is really hard to do because I'm not 14 years old and I no longer know how computers work. Basically, I don't have a team. I wish I had a team, but no, just me. I'm sure I could hire help, but for now anyway, this is one of the ways I make money. So I think it's important to be able to do it myself. That's the reality of this situation. And the more I make on YouTube, the easier it is to justify to people around me why I'm spending more time on that series, the Bible series, instead of doing other things. I mean, that's what happens when you start making videos as something more than just a hobby. So here's my pitch to all of you. If you enjoy that series and my other videos, I would appreciate you becoming donors on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Hemant. Any level is fine, but $5 a month would be ideal if you can spring it. And if more people do that, it just makes it a lot easier to put more of my personal resources and time into that series so that you don't have to wait a full week between videos. I'm not quite ready to say I'll do more than one every single week, but I could head in that direction. I also want to explore other kinds of videos, whether it's a live stream or interviews if people want them. If you think I'm going to just take your money and run, I promise you I have nowhere interesting to go. And I would just remind you that I've been uploading new chapters of the Bible series every week for a couple of years now without taking any time off. And I did all that thinking this was just an amusing little side project. It's also helpful to have that more reliable source of income on Patreon, partly because a lot of the Bible chapters, as you know if you've watched recently, contain some pretty explicit, hateful passages. And YouTube often punishes me for that by saying they're not able to run ads on those videos because the content is not suitable for all audiences, which never seems to get in the way of pastors or the conservatives who want to censor everything else, but whatever. So, point blank, I am asking for your financial support. It's been a long time since I've done that on this channel explicitly, and honestly, I'm kind of uncomfortable asking for it. But for those of you who've been watching me for a while, I hope you find the material worthwhile and worth supporting. And you know what? If you don't give anything, well, I'll still do my best to keep putting out episodes regularly, if not quickly, because I think it's useful. And whatever the case, I cannot thank you enough for the feedback and viewership you've all offered for so many years. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled content.